Good day, and welcome to another episode of Masonic Curators. My name is Rob Jackson, past master of Montgomery Lodge, located in Milford, Massachusetts. However, today, I am within the museum of the Norwood Masonic Temple, located in Norwood, Massachusetts, which is a beautiful building if you ever get the chance to come and see. Before I forget, don't you forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you can be aware of new episodes as they're released. Today, I wanted to talk to you about a Lewis jewel, what I have in my hand right here, on the right side. My right side, your left side. I haven't seen many of these in lodges, but they are becoming more and more popular. And the Lewis jewel is often given to a father or son who is raised within the craft, who also has a father or son also raised within the craft. There is that familial connection. This one, as you see, has 4 bars on it. This bottom one is for me, Robert E. Jackson. The next one up is my father, Robert Maitland. Well, above that was my grandfather, Maitland Jackson, and above that, my great-grandfather, Edward Henry Jackson. All 3 of them are New York Masons, or I should say were New York Masons, in Scarsdale Lodge 1094. It's a great way for me to remember them and their history and bring them along with me as I have my own journey through the craft. But what is the Lewis? This little jewel right down here is actually the Lewis itself. And within the craft and these jewels that we have, the Lewis we use is what's called a 3-legged Lewis. And what happens is you have 2 outside legs that are cut at an angle, and we're going to insert some pictures to make it a little bit more obvious. And then a straight middle leg. The way this is used is a very large stone would have a hole chiseled out within the center of the stone, with the sides of it being angled outward from the center or into the stone. That way, these legs that are more angular would go in and against the sides of those chiseled out angles. That middle leg would be inserted in between, thereby holding the outside legs at a perpetual distance. This seemingly simple tool created a very strong bond between the Lewis itself and the stone that it was holding, and it gave operative masons the ability to lift very, very, very heavy stones. One other cool thing about this is, as opposed to lifting the stones from the outside or some kind of hook that would reach the outside of the stone, as the edifice is being built and the stones are laid on top of each other, that hole that was chiseled out in the middle becomes virtually invisible. We no longer see that within the building itself. As a parent, it makes me think about sometimes the marks that we leave on our kids, some positive, some negative, internally, how they become, in some ways, little versions of ourselves, whereas externally, it might not be so obvious. So where did this come from, and what is the history of the Lewis? Like many things Masonic, there are different opinions. It was referenced in the Anderson's Constitutions in 1738. It was included in the Anderson Constitutions, and I will read this. Again, let it pass to the royal love name, whose glorious admission has crowned all our fame. May a Lewis be born, whom the world shall admire, serene as his mother, august as his father. Now, this reportedly alludes to the Prince of Wales, Frederick Lewis, ironically speaking, maybe not intentional, who was made a Mason in 1737. I've also read that the Preston ritual includes the Lewis as part of the 2nd degree as well. Within Massachusetts, we don't talk about the Lewis as much, as opposed to being the descendant line. Now, why is this descendant line so important? There's a couple different theories of this. One of which is that the Lewis, the son of a Mason, has additional burdens and responsibilities. It is on them to care for their parents as they age, become less able to do the work on their own. Sometimes we feel the same way about Keith, who you've seen in several of our videos.
Good day. Welcome to another episode of Masonic Curators. I'm Keith McKinnon. Oh, crap.
Blibbity flu.
That is one observation. And what would happen is, as payment, if you will, or appreciation of the work that the son of the Mason has done, they would be obliged or available to be initiated into the craft at an earlier stage. In some jurisdictions, I think I've read as young as 14, they were allowing young men to join if their father was also a Mason. Unfortunately, I'm not sure if they realize that age has nothing to do with maturity.
It's science.
This is something that I realize each and every day. Now, in opposition, maybe not in opposition to this, but a different way of looking at this, it was written by Albert Pike. Whereas the son of a Mason should be recognized by the fraternity because the fraternity has an additional obligation to care for that son of a Mason. It is up to the fraternity to not only support their brother and their brother's wife and soon to be at some point in time widow, but also the son, to care for them in event of the loss of the father. Regardless of what the original meaning was, what the true meaning might be, depending on where you are, I do feel personally that it is a very important connection. Whenever we're raising men who have a father within the craft, or recently we've raised a father and a son in the same night, it's a very special moment to me. It feels like as the fathers get old, as our hands grow weak and weary, we're able to pass our tools on to our children so that they can take up the building and continue with the edifice that we've been building all along. So, in the times of my father and my grandfather and my great-grandfather, I don't remember seeing record of the Lewis jewel as being worn. And it's been adopted by several states within the country, but I do hear it's more common within the UK. Which I'm looking forward to hearing about. If you have a Lewis jewel or you're aware of them, please comment within the video itself. I'd love to see pictures and hear more about these jewels throughout the world. Now, as time moves on and we all get older, I do see these Lewis jewels being more important. And like all of our history, I think the importance of the preservation of these jewels cannot be overstated. Someday, a young man may be digging through the artifacts of his lost father, and he may come to learn that he too is a Lewis. I want to thank you for watching, and again, don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out our Facebook page as well for more pictures. And with that, hopefully we'll see you at another episode of Masonic Curators. Thank you.